Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hello and welcome to Pathways. Our show is dedicated to global spiritual awakening. My name is John Zsurka. I will be your host today. And I have some very esteemed guests here today on our program. I'd like to introduce Sarva-drk, who has been an International Society for Krishna Consciousness devotee for 38 years. He is a disciple of A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. He lives in Prabhupada Village, which is in Sandy Ridge, North Carolina. He also grows organic vegetables and fruits in his spare time. Yep. Welcome to the program.
Glad
Thank
to be
you for
here,
being here.
Thank you.
Thank you. Also like to introduce Thakor Topiwala, born and raised in a Hindu family in India. He has a degree in chemistry, currently retired. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And has lived in the United States for 40 years now. Correct?
40 years.
Yeah. 40, yes, 40 years. He's actively working with interfaith activities and also serving Srila Prabhupada, the same spiritual master, in Krishna Consciousness Mission, yes? Welcome to the program as well.
Pleasure to be here.
Thank you very much, yes, for being here. Our topic of discussion today is the Bhagavad-gita, ancient text from India, and the Bible. You know, what are the similarities? What are the differences, if any? Is the message the same? That is what we want to explore today. So first, let me ask a question. I know that in the Bhagavad-gita, Krishna is God. That's who he is by name. Who is Krishna? Can you tell me, please?
Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. All world scriptures actually describe God. And whether it's the Quran, the Torah, the Bhagavad-gita, Guru Granth Sahib, they're all talking about the same personality, because when we say God, we're not talking about different people. It's not that you have your God, John, and Thakor has his God, I have my God, and we just keep it in a little box and we worship God according to our own individual understanding. God is the original Supreme Personality. God, by definition, means that person who's God for everybody. Otherwise, how is it God? God means the Supreme. Doesn't it have to mean that?
Yes.
Yeah.
But in Christianity and the Bible, I mean, they would say that Jesus is God. Is there a difference there, or
there's a difference and there's not a difference. We say Krishna is the father of Jesus. That Krishna is the original Supreme Personality of Godhead. That God is a person, and he sends his representatives like Jesus Christ or Hazrat Muhammad to come to this material world to uplift human society in their understanding of their Father, or the person who sent them to this world. So we see Jesus Christ as the emissary or representative of God, and we have all respect and veneration for him and everything he taught. But over the course of time, his teachings have become diluted and watered down, so people think today that Jesus is God. People who call themselves Christians today are actually Paulists. They're followers of Paul's understanding of Jesus Christ. Because at the time of Jesus Christ, there are many different understandings of his identity. And Paul's understanding, his feeling, became predominant. So Christianity today, by and large, accepts that Jesus Christ is the Supreme Person, the Creator. We take issue with that. We have all respect for Christianity, of course, because they're godly people. They're striving for the same thing we're striving for. But we would disagree, respectfully disagree, that Jesus Christ is not God, but rather Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead who sent his representative, Jesus Christ, to this world. Now, we can offer all respect to Jesus Christ as the emissary of God and worship him as good as God, but he's not God. It's something like this. I'll give you an example, maybe clarify what I'm talking about. Just like if the ambassador of France comes to America and someone pushes a pie in his face and takes the air out of his tires and won't let him stay in the hotel and doesn't give him a visa. What's that say about our relationship with the country of France, with America's relationship with France? It's not going to be very cordial.
Right.
Because we've insulted all of France's emissary. He's representing all of France. He's as good as a prime minister of France, even though he's just a consulate member or what do they call it? An emissary from France. If we insult him, it's as good as insulting the whole country, because he's representing all of France. So he's as good as France. So in this example, we would say that Jesus Christ is representing God, and he can be worshipped as good as God. And if we insult him, that's as good as insulting God. But we disagree that he is the Supreme Personality or the original personality or God, the Creator. He's God's representative. He's representative God, not Creator God.
So you wouldn't have any difference in that he is the Son of God?
No, absolutely not. Actually, one reporter asked my Guru Maharaj, my spiritual teacher, Srila Prabhupada, said, "What do you think of Jesus Christ?" And he folded his hands and said, "He is our Guru." Because Guru means God's representative. That person who connects us with God, who helps us in understanding of God, who brings us back to God. So he's God's representative in this world, and we have all respect for him in that capacity. But we don't acknowledge that he is the creator of this universe, or billions of universes.
See, in my study of Vedic literatures, we have been explained that there are different avatars. Nowadays it's become incarnation, and I think there are some different kinds of avatars also. Incarnation, maybe I have one word. Remember, Satyavish avatar. How would you explain that of other? Even Muhammad Paigambar, even the Muslim, is also considered as a Satyavish avatar.
The Shaktivesh means that personality who's imbued with the Shakti or the power of God to represent God. He's given all the, you could say, the diplomatic authority of God himself to come to the world to uplift human society. So Shaktivesh means someone who has directly the power of God. And if he has that power, if he's representing God, we should respect him as a representative of God.
And Jesus in the Bible did recognize that. He said that my Father in heaven who is greater than me.
Yeah.
So he's recognizing that there is his Father, who is
Yeah. Also,
God
some of
the
his
Father.
last words were that, Father, Father, why have you forsaken me?
Yes.
Why isn't it saying, why have I forsaken myself? He
Right.
said, Father, why have you forsaken me? There's me and there's God. He always spoke of me and God.
Yes.
See, I was studying the life of His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada, and a couple of scholars also described him as also a Satyavish avatar, because as I know, from the soil of India, no one ever had done spiritual welfare work like what Srila Prabhupada has done, and he was also described as a Satyavish avatar. So what do you think? Yeah. See, scholarly people have described him as a Satyavish avatar, because within the short period of time, 12 years of lifespan, he has spread this mission all over the world, and remarkably, what he has done. And I would proudly can say that no one else has done, any saintly person has done work what Prabhupada has done in this world.
I see. So I know in the Bible, they say that if you don't believe in Jesus, that, the results of that can be quite bad. What would you say happens to someone that does not believe in Jesus?